Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting, making a bold prediction that the Wii U will outsell both the Nintendo Gamecube and the Nintendo 64. A lot of people are aware of what's going on with the Wii U right now, but just to remind you, the console's not doing nearly as well as Nintendo wanted it to. Clearly it could be underperforming because it was called the Wii U, and not many people know that it's actually its brand new console and not just an add-on for the Wii console. It is Nintendo in HD, but I really don't feel like the company is promoting this or marketing this as well as they could. Mario Kart came out, Hyrule Warriors is out in about 10 days or less, and you also obviously have Super Smash Bros. Coming out this winter that should hopefully push and drive the Wii U console sales. Now I'm going to come right out front and say it pretty quickly. This is one of my favorite consoles from Nintendo ever. Everyone who has one thinks it's great, thinks it works really, really well. Just the average person who bought the Wii is currently not buying the Wii U, clearly. So right now, the current console sales are roughly 6.7 million, and that's up until June 2014. So obviously it's a little bit higher than that by now. It was released in November 2012, and if you kind of take that current trend of how much it's selling a month, you might think that it's on pace, depending on the generation for Nintendo, which are usually 5 to 7 years. So if you take that average at about 6 years, this might go on to sell somewhere in the order of 18 to 20 million units if it stays at the exact same pace it's going right now. But of course, those great games are coming that I just said, and I think Nintendo will obviously eventually offer some sort of a price cut with this. Hopefully this Christmas, that would be amazing, or at least give Super Smash Bros. In some sort of a pack in this Christmas for $300 instead of $300 without a really, really great game. Sometimes there's good games for $300, but sometimes they're $330. So if this thing has any sort of a price drop to $250, I think it's going to sell tremendously well. Now, as I said, it is really, really cool to actually finally see Nintendo's best characters on the Wii U in HD. And of course, the way that this was marketed, it almost looks like a Wii. A lot of people can't even tell that this is obviously a different shape. It's actually curved, it's a little longer, and it is called the Wii U. But this gamepad controller really does sell the system for me personally. A lot of people are actually asking for Nintendo to sell the console without the gamepad, but I don't think they'll ever do that. I think this is amazing. It's really cool to play games in a separate room. It's cool to have someone watching TV and you can still game. And it's also obviously pretty cool to have this interface to interact with while you're actually playing games. And it works really, really well for some of them, which is tremendous, honestly. So the Wii U, if we want to compare the actual console sales eventually to the other consoles, let me just take this aside so we can talk about the Nintendo Gamecube for a second and actually get a little bit of information about that. So the Gamecube, and it's strange that I'm skipping over the Nintendo 64, but this one actually sold the worst for Nintendo in terms of home consoles. For some reason, a lot of people weren't buying into the Nintendo Gamecube, and it sold 22 million units worldwide. You're currently looking at the Platinum Gamecube, which was released mostly worldwide, but this one's the North American release. Now, this controller is one of my favorites. They're actually bringing it over to the Wii U. That's how popular it was. And really, a lot of the things that Nintendo did with the GameCube was just different. And I'll make a whole series probably about that. The disc was smaller, for example, and it just sold 22 million. So in Nintendo standards, this was probably one of the failures that they had, but so many people love the GameCube, and personally, it's another one of my favorite consoles from Nintendo, with so many of my favorite games. So that sold 22 million units worldwide, and clearly it's done its run. You can probably find those still in your area locally for around $20 US. Next, I want to talk about the Nintendo 64. This guy went on to sell 33 million units worldwide, and also had some of the best games of all time. Huge shout out to Ocarina of Time, huge shout out to Super Mario 64, and of course there was Mario Kart, Smash Bros, and so many other great games. But this sold 33 million units worldwide. Again, it was out for roughly 5, maybe almost 6 years in some regions, but 33 million units should definitely be considered a success. That is a lot of units. If you want to look at the other consoles by Nintendo, they're all basically, I think, almost 50 million or over, and I really don't see the Wii U getting to that point. But the Nintendo 64 is another one of my personal favorites, but didn't sell all that well. So my prediction with the Wii U is that before all is said and done, before 2017 or so, depending on when the actual console ends, it might be 2018, I really do see this selling above 33 million units worldwide. I can see it happening. It's a great console. I can see a lot of people owning this and another console, which is absolutely fine, why not just enjoy video games no matter what console they are on, and hopefully in due time the Wii U will do some justice and will actually really compete and start selling a lot. But please comment below, do you own a Wii U? Are you looking to pick one up? How many console sales do you think the Wii U will eventually have? The Wii last generation broke 100 million consoles. I just can't see the Wii U doing that this time, but I can see it possibly breaking both the Nintendo Gamecube at 22 million and the Nintendo 64 at 33 million. Thank you very much for watching my video. Feel free to fill that like bucket, follow me on all the social media links in the description below the video, and remember, as always, go collect them all and keep smiling while gaming.